Dell's latest XPS 13 is the first to be made available with a rose-colored chassis and white keyboard deck, for an extra $50, of course. The styling has received rave reviews around my office, save for the white keyboard deck and palm rest, which at least one coworker found off-putting. Ed's note, "That's gross." Colors look absolutely stunning on the XPS 13, thanks to its 1500 to 1 contrast ratio, which makes blacks look infinitely deep. Even desktop icons pop on this display. Especially dark shows like Stranger Things also look fantastic, but you do end up seeing reflections in the panel. For 2018, however, Dell centered the bezel below the screen. It makes for a slightly better experience, but anyone you talk to is still going to get a great view of your nostrils. And forget about typing while using the webcam. Unless you recently got a manicure, you're not going to want the person you're chatting with to get an up-close look at your nail beds. My review unit came with an Intel INTC Core i7 processor, 16 GB of RAM, 512 GB of storage space, a 4K touchscreen, and handled all of my daily tasks with ease. I ran Chrome with 20+ tabs, streamed Spotify and was chatting on Slack and didn't run into any issues. For the kind of power this XPS is packing, it would be more of a story if it did have a problem handling any of those simple processes. The XPS 13's battery was also a solid performer. I worked through my entire workday, 8 hours or so, without having to worry about the machine giving up the ghost. That said, the XPS's 4K display does eat through power faster than the standard 1080p screen, so make sure to take that into account when configuring your system. At its base price of $999, the XPS 13 comes with an Intel Core i5 processor, 4 GB of RAM, 128 GB of storage and a 1080p, non-touch display. 4 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage is small potatoes in today's world, though, so I'd recommend moving up to the $1,199 model to get 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage. If you're itching for more power, you can get a Core i7 processor, 8 GB of RAM and a 256 GB SSD for $1,399. If you want that sweet 4K display, you'll have to add an additional $400. And if money is no object, you can get an XPS with a Core i7 processor, 16 GB of RAM, a 1 TB SSD and a 4K display for $2,299. More from Dan, email Daniel Howley at Dowley@, follow him on Twitter at Daniel Howley. Follow News Pulse Finance on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn.